When nature lets us know who's boss, communities come together. And during the Los Angeles fires of 2025, the city's rock and roll community is rising to the occasion.
I'm here today at the Whisky A Go-Go, where the rock and roll crowd of Los Angeles is doing their part to pitch in and help with the fire relief, and they're hosting a clothing drive.
Musicians and other artists often get a bad rap, but when hard times come, it's that community we turn to for inspiration and hope. And both of those were here in abundance as artists descended on the Whisky to do their part in a clothing drive spearheaded by Joelle Dowley.
But I started a nonprofit charity event really called Midnight Wonderland, and I do it at the Whisky every December. So when the fires happened, I said, do you think we could utilize the Whisky for donations? Within 30 minutes, this was on Saturday, Sunday we started putting stuff out, and then Monday it just went through the roof. So I do this just because I think that the community, rock and roll is so like hardcore and we're so tough, you know, and I think that bringing empathy to the scene is important, and it kind of brings people together.
And she's right, this effort did bring people together. They shared laughs, stories, and even some music, all in the name of assembling some of the most cool clothing donations in the city.
Classic.
All this vibe made it impossible to forget where you were, especially when stuff like this would fall out of pockets from time to time.
And I thought, how rock and roll is that? But it turns out they're just styrofoam spacers.
And bonus, this all took place during sound check.
And this is quite an experience. We've got the band getting ready to do their sound check for tonight. It's quite a scene here, but it's amazing. It's like the rock and roll community doing their thing. Well, I had a little clothing mishap and a casualty to the rock and roll clothing drive. I ripped my shorts from top to bottom, so now I've got Franken cargos. Way more rock and roll now.
Eventually, we had to get everything into bags and pack up the cars for distribution. Some got to take food to local animal shelters, and they asked me and my friend Mike to head out to Ground Zero, the Eaton Canyon Fire Station in Altadena, where Joelle had made contact with the captain. We were asked to bring blankets, sunscreen, and Gatorade for the guys on the front lines. We were stunned as we began to witness up close the effects of the worst fire in LA history.
And boy, driving up here and seeing the devastation really just puts everything into perspective. From one block to the next, a house may be completely gone, and then one right next to it is perfectly fine. It's just devastating out here.
As a member of the arts community, it made me proud to see women like Joelle and Crystal Scanlon at the Whisky bring this community together to help their fellow Angelenos in their time of need. I love rock and roll.
I'm selling insurance.